And the collaboration we're going to have going forward.
No better way to communicate to your audience.
How do we grow strategically now that we've gotten the right path forward? Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Agents Who Win with my friend Markus Willard, talking about digitally door knocking with StreetText. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm taking October. We took September to talk about new agent success stories. We're taking October, how to crush it with leads and how to find leads and opportunities. I don't want to call them leads, I want to call them opportunities. These are people that are going to be coming to you. And my Facebook has been blowing up with your product. So I wanted to see, what is StreetText all about? Hear a lot of people talking about it. And I appreciate you being our first one, our first company on the show this month, talking about opportunity generation. So let's dive in, Markus, and appreciate you being here today.
Hey man, I really appreciate you having me. And this is a fun subject to talk about, because most people obviously know lead generation, but they have to figure out, well, what's the most cost-effective way to get in front of new people?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure everybody knows Zillow and Trulia and Realtor and Redfin and, Google SEO style of lead generation. Then we call that the bottom of the funnel, people who are actively searching for your services. But what's the top of funnel? The top of funnel is the new buzz. It's because it's out of social media. And social media particularly is where you want to be, because there's billions of people there. So, everybody you want to be in front of.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the day, I find that for anybody that wants to grow, especially grow into the future, they want to really leverage the idea of interruption-based marketing.
Okay, I like that.
Think of it that way, or digitally door knocking. That's why we're saying digitally door knock with StreetText. So the idea is you need to be in front of their feed. Now, I heard recently that the average person picks up their phone 200 times a day.
I'm gullible of that as well.
And studies are showing, especially because of the pandemic and everything else, so we're all connecting more through social. So the average time spent on social can be a couple hours a day at this moment. So what that means is you have this opportunity to be in front of someone's scroll, their scroll being their Facebook scroll, their Instagram scroll. Digital media is here, and it's just going and, expanding more and more every single day. So the thing that I love about Facebook particularly is that it's multi-generational.
Right.
We all got started with it. Now, and I'm a millennial, so I got started when I was in university, but now it's expanded, and my mom and dad are on it. Everybody's on it. Generation Y, baby boomers, X, millennials, everybody, and particularly your homeowners. And right now we are in the very hot seller market.
Right.
But let's not forget buyers, because buyers are sellers right now. I think a lot of people want the sellers, but you actually have to merge the two and create a marriage, because a lot of people will look to see what's available before they sell their asset. So we're actually finding right now on Facebook, some of our best agents are leveraging our buyers, and they're marketing their listings on Facebook, because that particularly is giving them sellers.
Right. Well, that's the biggest challenge for us too, is like in all of our lead generation, there's a lot of hidden sellers inside of those opportunities. So like the team's like, oh, I want listings. Okay, great. Call all those opportunities that we have sitting there. Because every one of those has got a house they need to sell.
Everyone. So I'm going to kind of give you a quick overview. I'm gonna pull up a slide and let me know if you can see it, and I'll present it. Okay. Is this sharing?
It is not yet. Let me add you to it. Add the stream. Perfect.
We there?
Let me get.
It says it's sharing the.
Yeah, you're in. You're
okay.
in. I'm just gonna try and fix something.
Cool.
Here we go. I wanted to get you the full screen there.
Perfect. Okay, so Facebook, the art of the digital handshake. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I think will help you understand the idea of the digital handshake. I mean, I think the truth is, we all know what's the one thing realtors can't live without, and surprise, surprise,
leads.
Right? And in the sense of the idea is, with StreetText, at least you can go and become an expert. And I challenge you to do that. Go to become an expert, spend all your time learning Facebook just to see that their algorithm changes tomorrow and that their new update changes everything. And then, we like to say the Facebook ad manager is a labyrinth of confusion. It creates that opportunity to say, I need a drink. I need a drink right now. So the idea is become an expert or hire a marketer, and you can spend a lot of money. The problem with hiring a marketer is you don't get a lot of transparency, and you don't know how that money is being spent. And, unfortunately, there aren't many people that are completely showing you everything they do. StreetText is this nice, happy medium, and it makes it super easy to reach new clients. And I'll explain why. We've been at it for 6 years. This is an older slide. It's probably way higher now, but I mean, it just gives you an idea of how many ads we've run, how many leads we've captured all over North America. It's a lot. And with that, we've got a designation from Facebook as a marketing partner. So we get firsthand knowledge with them, understanding how things change and how they're going to affect you and how to tap into their algorithm. And really, that's the truth. You need to know within 24 to 48 hours if your ad performance is worthy of continuing. And there's a couple of things that we really look into. I mean, the obvious is, okay, I'm giving you money, Facebook. You're charging me per click. But most importantly, how is that creating a relationship? What's my cost per lead? And that's the big thing. So these are proven, ready to launch ad templates that we have for people. So they don't have to go out there and figure it out. You just go click, 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 and you're deploying an ad with automations, email drip, SMS within seconds. And it's not just the ad itself, Todd. It's everything, the solution, the marketing funnel, the landing pages, like I said, the email and the SMS, and the follow-up training, which I think is the most important thing.
Well, a lot of people go in, what do I say when I get the lead? So I like that.
Oh man, we have the best community, and we do a lot of stuff on role play and scripts and so forth, but work smarter, not harder, right? Yep. Work smarter, not harder. You only have so much time in the day, and you got to make sure that that translates into new people. So these built-in automated split tests are phenomenal. Now, a split test is something maybe new for people. People, I'm sure, understand the A/B test. An A/B test would be like, hey, I'm going to run this ad with this image versus this ad with this image and see which one works best. A split test is actually running the same ad, the same image, the same copy, which is the text on that image, on that ad, the same audience, because you may not know this, but with Facebook and Instagram, you have a mandatory 15-mile minimum radius built in the targeting. So what you do is you split the audiences at least 3 times for the first 24 to 40 hours. And so instead of running one ad, at say like $10, 3 ads, each at $10, and let the best one win.
Now you're running the same ad though 3 times over 24 hours. You're just trying to see which one's going to hit the fastest.
Yeah, because you have no idea. Facebook, the variable here is the audience Facebook puts it in front of.
Right.
So it could be, hey, way out here in the Northwest, the Southeast, smack dab in the middle of that 15 miles, or even worse, outside the area because it picked up on the wrong algorithm. Because Facebook is making a determined performance standard within the first 500 people reached. And so you got to reinforce it by saying, yes, Facebook, that's what I like. I mean, here's the way I like to look at it to make it easier for people. If you're going to go to Las Vegas and sit down at the blackjack table, are your chances of getting a 21 better if you're going to play 3 hands or 1?
3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's key in that concept. And this is why we give everybody a free trial to allow it to be proven. And our trials are free. Your ad spend, of course, isn't. So we just got to make sure we're being wise with that ad spend. And so you have a coach that works with you on making sure your ads are set up properly. But it is all about the relationships. And I think ultimately you need, as you know, a collaborative community that helps you every step of the way. And so we have 4,000 plus community members, and we have a mastermind every week where we all come together. And that's my favorite thing in the entire world. And we just share. And we have people have been on this mastermind for years. I have one gal who's done over 200 deals on Facebook out of Fort Worth, Texas. And she shares everything. Like, that's the type of community. There's no exclusivity, because Facebook doesn't act that way. So everybody can win.
Let's talk about her for a second. How long is she's doing that through StreetText, or is that through StreetText and multiple other sources in the Facebook?
That's specifically through StreetText. We actually even built a course with her.
Nice.
And we have multiple agents, actually, a couple who are actually EXP that we built courses with. One being Jennifer Salter, the other Janky Patel. And Janky is out of Northern California, $1.3 million average market. She's done over 50 deals.
How long have they been in your program, or not in your program, but in your system, to generate that many leads?
Well, that would be, so Janky's been over a year. Jennifer's been over 2 years. Jennifer averages about a deal per month. Okay. Now, the difference between Janky and Jennifer is that Janky's got ISAs, VA, social media coordinator, as well as a director of operation. So all outsourced from the Philippines, by the way.
Right. Nice.
And she's trained them. Jennifer is doing this entirely on her own.
Okay.
By herself as an agent. She's got to wear all the hats. But what she's phenomenal at using is software like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see that?
No, you're.
Am I still on the slide?
Yeah, you're still on the slides.
Okay. I have to stop the share real quick and then share another screen. I guess it's different. I'm so used to using Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm going to share this screen, share screen, and then go to a different tab. So let's go to this guy. Can you see this one?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, so what happens typically is that our most popular ad, I'm going to show you in a second, will develop high submissions of emails. So for example, if someone clicked on an ad that said, "What's your home really worth? Enter your address to receive your home value." They're going to enter their address. They're going to enter their email, and boom, this should be shooting out. This is the game. This is the game changer. The relationship begins the moment you create an authentic, genuine response. So with that being said, I'm going to stop the share again and come back in. With that being said, is for me, the lead generation is not the hard part.
Right.
What you got to understand is you are interrupting someone's Facebook newsfeed with something they thought they were getting instantly.
Right.
So it's your job not to sell them, but to serve, to give value.
Yeah.
To be a consultant, not a salesperson.
Right.
And the key on your success with sellers on Facebook is to drive that value and to nurture that value and to give them an opportunity to connect and truly get the market value. And then, as you know, you can't use, like, the internet's best guess is going to be all over the place. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Redfin, Movado, right? Anybody can Google their address.
Right. Get the value how they want, but they're looking for the accurate or speak to an agent or something similar. What
you're going to do is you're going to ask the questions that help drive what's the true motivation. Are you just curious as you submitted? And if you are, what are you looking to do with that just curious? Can I help you define all the options you have with your equity? Right. Okay. Right? And you're just really truly saying you're coming from a place of integrity. And usually the beginning is like, "Hey, it's Markus with EXP. Just want to say thank you so much for clicking on my Facebook ad. I'm sure you thought this was instant market value. Here's what I'm going to do for you." Right. Right. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah, because you're trying to dig in a little bit deeper. So if you're going through the questionnaire and stuff, then it's going to drive a little bit more, questions from them to get some more answers, and hopefully learn more about the house to be able to provide some more information to them.
Absolutely. And I'll show you really quickly that I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see this guy.
Let me get it back up. Hit edit stream. There we go.
Okay, so I have one particular slide that I wanted to show you in here. Okay, so typically this is the ad most people really know StreetText for. And it says, if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it? Find its value in the current market. It's the other one I really love on this one is it says basically we usually start with the same image, but it would say, what's your home really worth? Enter your address to receive your home value. Now, the thing about this ad is you can't use a Facebook lead capture software, which automatically captures that name, phone number, and email up front, because this type of lead generation, 70% of the time, Todd, will give an address. And the reason is we're not taking them into a separate form. Check out the congruency between the actual click into the landing page. Analyze by property. So you notice it's not taking them in some other form. And 70% of the time, this person will go and submit this address.
Right.
So if you're saying what's your home really worth, enter your address, receive your home value, that's integrity. That's saying, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to enter my address to get my home value. The moment they submit their address, this is where the rubber hits the road. They have to click on a box that says email permission.
Right. So then you're not spamming them and going through that rule.
100%. And that email is being verified through our system. And again, as you saw earlier, a video is automatically introducing yourself, creating a connection, and helping that person realize why they're not getting an instant market value and what you're going to do to serve them.
Okay.
So, of course, we want more, right? So the deeper they go into the funnel, the more information they provide about the condition of the property, age, updates, renovations. They have a drop-down menu both on the condition and the sell date. Because they could be renovation, they could be, refinancing, wanting to sell immediately, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6, just curious. And then this is kind of where I love, because you could put your own brand in there. If you have any Facebook reviews, we can pull them in. They would submit their name, last name, and phone number, and they could also set an appointment. But the beauty of that is it activates the SMS,
right? Which
would send an automatic text message. And our text message autoresponder gives you an assistant. Her name is Julie, and she's not really Julie, but she's an AI, and so she starts the conversation, and so it automatically gives you someone as your assistant. It would say, hey Todd, it's Julie. Todd, I'm going to I'll say it from my end. Hey Marcus, it's Julie, Todd's assistant. I'm just checking in to make sure you got that home value. Is there any updates or renovations we should be aware of?
Well, we have an AI named Charlie who does the same thing. It's kind of comical, when you watch the conversations and how real those combos really go, and they dig in.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't stop there. I just wanted to show you for a second that StreetText has 35 different ad and funnel templates.
Okay.
All with automations, email drip, SMS. And then you are obviously, the way you build the system to make it yours is you want to obviously integrate it with the systems you already had, whether it's KV Core, Follow Up Boss, you name it.
Right. The leads will flow into like we use Follow Up Boss and KV Core as an example. So anything we use will flow right into those.
Right in.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called email parsing.
Okay.
So our system does that. And most people, what they use as well, because it's so cost effective and very, I think high opens interactions is HomeBot.
Yeah. So this will connect with HomeBot as well, or were we having to manually put those in?
No, this connects with HomeBot.
Oh, perfect.
So you literally can connect HomeBot to StreetText, and then there's a button that you press whenever the lead comes in that automatically sends it to your HomeBot. Okay. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then also, I think the truth will also be understanding. And I'm just going to, again, I can't move from slide to slide. I have to move from one slide at a time, right?
No, you're fine. I'll add you back in.
Let's see here. Chrome tab. I just want to show you. Okay, let's see if this opens. Okay.
There we go.
So you see the dashboard? Yeah. So this is the dashboard, and this is Linnea Carver, one of my clients that I really love her process. So she's got an ad running. The beauty behind all these is they're so easy to see. So you literally can see the ad right there. You can edit the funnel right there. You can see the lifetime of your ad spend, what your cost per lead is, what your ad budget is. You can turn it on and off. It shows you your social engagement, how many people have liked it and commented it. Everything you would need to determine the success of the ad is right there. Now, the most important part is creating the experience you want them to have. So as the emails are sending out to these leads, what you're going to notice with Linnea is, check this out. First one is genuine, authentic connection. She's outside in the sun with sunglasses on. I love it. She's got everything perfectly set up, you know, and then she's set up for day 4. Another video outside.
Right.
Love it. Genuine personality. Day 7. This is what I love most. She's not just a realtor. She's gives back to the community, and she's got a whole email called The Value of Community, where she's interviewing a coffee shop owner.
Cool.
Isn't that awesome? So you could you can do drips like this, where the first few weeks you're getting to know that agent. You're seeing that they're not trying to sell you on anything. It's about creating that know, like, trust model.
Well, I like you've got that in the background, and it's stuff we can do once, and it's already done, and you've got the rhythm, you know, flowing on it.
Yeah. So for me, when I say the art of the digital door knock, it goes from, okay, let's get a phenomenal producing ad, and then let's create the system, the automations, the process, the integrations, and let's build a phenomenal relationship model so that naturally nurtures these people. And when they're ready, they're just going to give you a call or send an email.
So let's talk about, like, StreetText from the beginning. What got you guys into creating the company and, like, getting this lead generation set up? Were you coming from an agent side before, or where did you guys come from?
Great question. So we got started in 2009 with textable sign writers.
Okay.
So that's where the name StreetText comes from.
Gotcha.
And in 2015, the 2 brothers, Stephen and Jonathan Whiting, they hired me.
Okay.
And I was first hired as we experimented into Facebook on the lead generation side. And they're both Steve has a background in real estate. I have a background in real estate. I graduated the marketing degree from San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly. So it was just the perfect fit. I mean, we were using Google spreadsheets at the time.
Right.
You know, it was taking like an hour per ad to build. You know, we got to the point now where literally our ads, our funnels are launched. I think the fastest we did it was like one of our guys did it in like 4.4 seconds. So nice. That's how, when you know what you're doing, it's essentially pick the right image, and we have a bunch of stock photos, or you just upload your own, because the idea is this: the map itself is boring and familiar as it is. It's perfectly suited for the 15 miles because no one feels like they're being you know, marketed to by a realtor. Well,
and your home here currently doesn't fit my neighborhood over here, so if you just do a general, same thing.
You always got to put something in front of somebody that's organic and native to their area. Yeah. You don't want to embellish images. You don't want to take photos that are not realistic to that area, or you know, high-end homes. You know, every realtor, the problem is they try to go out, you know what I mean? It's like, no, you go after relationships, let people do what they do best, understanding the psychology and understanding that marketing is more a reflection of making it inclusive, not exclusive, inclusive to everybody, which is even with your seller ads, with your buyer ads, you want everybody who's on Facebook to potentially click on that. Right. You want to be the influencer. And that's the day and age we're living in, is you have to be an influencer. You have to leverage video. You have, like, video follow-up is key. If you're not using video in your follow-up, you're going to lose.
Bomb. We've got 2 memberships for them. I've got my own, and I've got one for the team to roll, and showing them why the power of video, why Facebook Live is all stuff that is good. And I'm trying to do more of it myself, just to do more traction with it, because it does, the more you do it, obviously, the more it's going to get popped in front of people's feeds.
Well, and just get used to using video texting, get used to using video message. Like, I use my, that's a whole nother subject. I use my Facebook as a CRM. And I'm telling you, it's what's created my massive success over the 6 years. The truth is, every person knows they can connect with me, and I connect with them, and I don't leave it to interpretation. It's always connection through audio, which is, you know, the voice back and forth, like, so you never misinterpret what we're trying to accomplish together. And I can track to see if you're getting it. So if I've seen that you've seen it, and I've sent you multiple messages, and you're ghosting me, which means you're not responding, probably realistically, we don't need to be friends.
Right.
Right. And so video and voice is so important because body language and tonality genuinely sets you apart. See, if you just leave it to HTML or text, it's misinterpreted.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people are going to just think they're being sold something.
Right.
So they'll unsubscribe.
And you want to keep them on there. You want to keep them alive and show what's going on. So what is the, diving into the program itself, what is the conversion? I guess, let's start with the cost. What is a membership cost to it? And what do you suggest as an ad spend monthly?
So StreetText has 3 options. Let me just go to the slide so you guys can see
pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate it. Slide, share screen. I'm a newbie with StreamYard.
I'm still learning. I'm like, oh, cool. I can remove the banner so we can get the slide in there. I'm hoping I don't disconnect us when I was doing that. Perfect.
Okay. And by the way, what I'm sharing, can you see it?
Yep. We
have everything. I mean, you have a coach, which is awesome, right? In this case, your coach would be me.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's, you'll always have me. And we have a community on Facebook, and we have masterminds and conversion workshops and ad performance reviews and everything you can imagine under the sun. So very cost effective, extremely cost effective. You got to look at it as, okay, anywhere between $160 to $200 a month, but it's an upfront minimum 3-month commitment.
Okay.
Right. And you have to have that because you're not going to even experience the fruit of your labor until you start realizing the psychology behind this type of marketing and advertising. Most of the people you connect with today are not going to be ready today.
Right.
Right. You're creating the relationship today, building the trust. And in the future, let's say you get a lead today that wanted to know what their home's really worth. That's probably going to sell in the spring market. Now,
right.
That could be there's always exceptions to the rule, but I just wanted to get people mentally ready. That's why our most successful agents that are doing 50 to a few hundred deals, those been around for years because it keeps on building. Repeat, referral, buyers or sellers are buy, you know what I mean? So, so it's $600 minimum start. There's a 1,020 6-month or a 1,920 full year. And then your ad spend, I think realistically, conservatively speaking, you should at least set aside $300 a month for Facebook ads.
Okay.
$10 a day. Because you also want to give yourself some room for A/B testing and split testing. And so stop sharing again.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very affordable. ROI calculation on here can be off the roof, but the problem I see, because you're going to probably say, well, what's your average conversion? Conversion is relative.
That's a question coming up.
Well, conversion is relative to your follow-up.
Right.
You do nothing. Anybody can do nothing and get a deal or two.
Yeah.
That's just luck. But if you want to talk about success, true success comes by tracking your follow-up and reflecting on if that follow-up is actually getting you conversations. And conversion is a reflection of how many conversations have you been able to connect.
Right.
And a conversation is a true success for me because now you can set the tone and create the future.
So what is you want to have them in longer than 3 months, obviously, because I think everything we do today is 90 days out. So everything we're working on is going to be January to spring market listings like you talked about. And we're always going to have that internet lead that comes in and says, I'm a seller right now or I'm a buyer right now. But that's not the norm. And then if you've got there's a lot of follow-up and stuff that has to be done. Are you guys in your back-end systems have all the drip stuff set up, or is it stuff that we've got to set up inside of our follow-up also?
All set up. Now, obviously, if you want to do what Linnea did, you got to film some video.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I work with you on that. And most of our agents, the cool thing about our community is they share. So if you whether it's Donna or Linnea or Jennifer Salter, and we have courses. We actually have courses that you can buy into. So, and very cost effective. They'll just show you everything. Like, for example, Jennifer Salter, EXP, out of Raleigh, North Carolina, has been with us for 2 years. We built a course with her, and she updates it every week. And she used to be a teacher, a third grade teacher. She's got a
Right.
phenomenal coaching style, and she just shares everything she does, because you know what makes her unique? 100% opens on her videos.
Right. Right. Which is very odd.
Yeah. So you know why? Because she will send it 3 to 5 different ways to make sure they're getting it. It's not landing in a folder.
Right. And she's showing you the different systems in there that are doing it. So that the people are creating the course in yours and then selling the course as like how to maximize StreetText results or whatever.
Well, it's just, you don't have to buy into courses. The fact is, like, we have a mastermind every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, 12 p.m. Eastern. That meeting alone is probably what keeps people around for years. I think what you'll find is, you want to be part of the tribe, because when you get to be a part of that, we all challenge one another. We share wins, scripts, strategies, and you start really getting to understand it. It's truly the mindset shift that has to change. You got to come from a place of value, of service, of relationship, abundance, right? Because you're giving and you're sharing. And I have so many people have so many great techniques, whether it's throwing in a $5 coffee card. Oh, and by the way, that is a phenomenal thing. You have a relationship with somebody you made, you're trying to make a unique difference. Follow up with a nice personal note with a $5 Starbucks coffee card to say thank you. After you've had that great conversation, that person will forever be solidified as that impression you made. They'll be like, that's my agent.
Well, and that's the personal note goes a long way. And whether it's a brownie, coffee card, or anything, or even just the note, it goes a long way when you send it to somebody, because we don't get that much mail anymore. Whenever we get it, it's usually just being tossed in the garbage, or it's being sent back with a check because it's a bill. And so if you can get something in and says, hey, thanks for this today, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it goes a long way doing that.
And so here's the challenge I have to everybody who's like at least open to trying this out. Todd, you've got a link you can share.
Yeah.
Share that link, do a free trial. And when I say free, it's free with StreetText. You have to spend a little bit of money with Facebook to obviously, because you can't, the cost of meeting new people isn't free. But you'll have all of us together. You know, Todd is the mentor. It's essentially you're working with Todd, you're working with me. You're joining the StreetText community. We have, and I know you have a lot of EXP people. We have a lot of EXP. Actually, we find that EXP as a brokerage, they are the perfect fit for StreetText.
Right.
Because they understand the value of relationships and growing. And, I have a lot of agents who actually use StreetText for agent recruiting.
Right.
But yeah, so drop the trial links in there in the month of October. In the month of October, the beauty is that anybody that activates a trial with Todd gets a free $5 Starbucks coffee card too.
Even better. So you're going to get your what do you call the pumpkin spice lattes?
Your pumpkin spice latte, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, my favorite drink, I'm a coffee drinker myself, is I do a grande pike and a venti cup, because that's kind of, here's my hack of the system, topped with steamed heavy whip.
There you go.
I do a little bit of the keto version.
That's funny. Well, so the last question I had, so just looking at the cost, just want to dive into that. The more you pay up front, the longer, obviously, if you wanted to, the more discount you get.
The more discount you get. So you basically save almost $1,000 for the year. So it goes from $200 to $160 average. Yeah,
very inexpensive. And then, so it's like you're walking in $300 a month for, let's say, Facebook ads, $200 a month for StreetText, $500 a month. You have an awesome system to start doing lead generation.
Well, yeah, and you can scale that as high as you want. I literally have agents that spend anywhere from $50 to $100 a day on Facebook.
Wow.
Right, but that's when you start talking, because you have your systems in place and you have your ISAs and VAs. So at the end of the day, you got to consider where you're at, and it just you start small. I mean, my recommendation is start small so that you can give 100% service to that person, lead or a couple leads coming in on the daily. So you're not. The problem I find with a lot of people is they're always backpedaling to serve the leads today, and then they forget about the leads last week and the leads a month before, and then of course 3 months, 6 months, and a year pass by, and all you had to do is check in to see if they're like an updated market value.
Well, most of our listing appointments are going on right now are people we've been talking to for the last 2 or 3 months.
Exactly.
That we're getting signed. So you've got to keep the follow-up going. It's not like they're not going to say, hey, Doc, you sign me a listing agreement so I can get this thing rolling. We're ready to list. Like, it's not that. You've got to go to the appointment, nurture, win their business, and then, when they're ready, you go back to them.
Yeah. And you know what's one of the easiest ways to connect with somebody?
What's that?
On Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. Even better. I mean, that's how we got connected. We've been friends Facebook for 6 months or a year, and we've been talking about the product and getting on this, and I'm glad we were able to finally connect and actually do a show like this to show the consumer what's out there and for the new agents or people trying to get their marketing lined up for, 2022. And I mean, for a simple $500 budget, you've got a whole lead generation platform running.
And it's not just the lead gen, it's the solution itself. It's the community, it's the collaboration, it's the coaching. I mean, you're basically getting like Tom Ferry style coaching.
Yeah.
Right.
Better.
And literally we had a Tom Ferry coach who not anymore. He's got his own services come onto our mastermind this last Wednesday and offer everybody a free coaching session.
Even better.
So you get a lot of that stuff where because let's face it, October 1st, 3 months left in the year.
Yep.
How are you going to finish this year?
Yep,
How are you going to finish your fourth quarter? Are you already planning for 2022? Because if you're not in front.
Yeah, and you got to be planning. Like, so I'm doing business plan classes at our office all next month, and every Wednesday at I think 10. And I'm trying to get agents running and getting their plans going and have that Bible ready for January 1st. That's what you're going to be going back to. Spend the next 3 months I guess digging into it, and then once you have it lined out, laminate it. This is my book. This is what I'm going to work off of next year.
That's it, man. I love that stuff. I love the planning. We did some Darren Hardy stuff. I have the Full Focus Planner. Have you ever heard of that one? That's another one too. Yeah, I mean, nice. I like to geek out on that stuff too, just as much because goal setting is everything.
It is, and you got to keep up with it. It's if you can do it and you can get and follow the plan that you've put in place, you're going to be successful with it. So, well, Markus, I appreciate you jumping on today. It's good content here, and guys, look for us on every Friday at 11 for lead generation tactics. And this is an awesome one to start because this is very inexpensive and it's going to bring you a lot of opportunities. And every time we get into a zip code with Zillow, it's a couple $1,000s, or we get into 𝐓𝐸, it's 35%. Why not, for a car payment, find out a bunch of sellers online that are also buyers and get this done.
And well, don't forget, not just sellers, buyers, listings, new development, you name it. You have an ad idea, we'll create it with you.
Okay. So even better. And I love it. You're going to get creative. You're not going to say, well, here's the platform. We're not going to modify anything we do. You guys are going to tailor to what we need to do to put it out there for our markets.
It's always customized with your follow-up action plan in mind.
Yeah. Even better. Well, cool. Markus, I love it. I appreciate you jumping on today, and we'll definitely get in touch. And guys, there's a link in the comments to get your 7-day free trial as well, and your $5 Starbucks card to get your pumpkin spice latte. Even better. All right, tune it out.